Welcome back, everybody, to all Nonstop Impact Talk for Impact fans. Featured right here on the TNI Network. This is Trent Love, my co-host, J-Bone, Bill, and Alicia. And this is the Impact Plus weekly. This week, the Xplosion talk, around the ring, open forum discussion, no Royal Rumble talk here. That's Jake's department. J-Bone's going to talk about that.
We preempted the bone?
We preempted the bone. He bumped himself to do this show first. Because J-Bone's an Impact loyalist, Bill. He's like you now. He's dying for the brand.
We brought him to the dark side.
I think so. He bumped a pay-per-view review to do an Xplosion talk. I mean, come on.
Oh, if the big man hears about this, J-Bone, you're fired.
Yeah, Big Vinny can kiss it. But yeah, I'll do my Rumble review post Impact Plus weekly. Yeah. So if you are so inclined to tune in for that, by all means, head on over to Smash this podcast right after this is done. So I figured I'd give us about an hour to air the stuff with the Impact family here, and then hey, see what happens.
Are you saying the Bone's going to go all night?
He's going all night long.
Maybe 20 years ago the Bone could have done something like that, but no.
Take it easy, J-Bone. All right, we got a lady here. Let me show what's going on. Can you sway this conversation?
We're talking about podcasting here. We're talking about podcasting.
Shut up, J-Bone. Just shut the fuck up, J-Bone. All right, Alicia, what's going on with you?
Nothing, just relaxing after a wonderful weekend of looking at apartments and going to a paint and sip.
Hey, wait a minute. Is this cohabitation apartment shopping? Is that what's going on here?
Yes.
Look at this.
Look at nice.
How our very own Alicia has grown with this show. But when she joined the show, she was unengaged, living on her own, and now here we go.
Yeah, now you can say she's going to be signed talent.
She's signed talent. We're still working on that dress. We're still working on getting the Sami Callihan, the Sami Callihan dress, and for him to sing. He did kind of like half-ass agree to do it, which was weird. So like,
did he?
He kind of did. Like he kind of was like involved. Like he was kind of like he was into the idea.
Here comes the bride.
Oh my god!
All dressed in white.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my gosh!
I do forget that Bill's superimposed on it. I keep forgetting about that.
Forget that little bit.
But cool, awesome. A lot of snow in Chicago and in Milwaukee area where J-Bone's at. We're digging out of our. It's like a tundra. It's like the planet Hoth for all you Star Wars fans out there. It's nuts. No snowblowers here. It's all by hand. Me over. It's the Sunday dinner. I'm at my parents' house on Sundays. And that's what I've been doing all day. I've just been shoveling all day long, but it's a great workout because I'm super jacked now. I'm about to join the Impact roster to kick some ass.
Dude, it snowed so much. I saw Han Solo riding his tauntaun past my house down the block. He's like, "Hey, did you see Luke?" And I was like, "Yeah, no, he went that way."
It's one of those. It literally is like one of those, man. It's bad out here. Like it's at least 2 feet, so it's nuts and it's heavy.
You're sending it our way.
Yeah, it's coming to you guys on the East Coast like tomorrow, I think.
So we're already getting hit a little bit.
Push it towards you guys. Just push it.
It's intense, man. It's great, like fort building snow, snowman building snow, snowball fights. It's like perfect sledding.
We're preparing for Groundhog Day on Tuesday.
Yeah, that's true. Do you guys watch the movie on Groundhog Day?
No, I have one better. Me and Stefan, ever since we started dating, we actually go to Punxsutawney and party all night to celebrate the Punxsutawney Phil.
Holy shit! Is that still going on? Like even with like COVID?
No, I believe it's locals only this year. They're highly encouraging people not to come down for COVID reasons, but otherwise, when all this is over, I highly recommend it. It's not for the faint of heart, though.
Is it that thing they show in the movie? Like the
actually the movie wasn't even filmed in Punxsutawney. But the celebration and everything, they don't show the all night party aspect of it.
Nice. Really gotta do.
Did you ever run into Bill Murray while doing it?
No, unfortunately. Awesome. All the events that lead up to the ultimate reveal is pretty epic, though.
That's awesome. I really want to do that. That sounds like a fucking blast. Holy shit.
It's worth it. Bundle up, though.
Next year, Bone. We're road tripping from the Midwest to Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania for this. So
don't forget your booties because it's cold out there.
Cold
Yeah,
out
you're
there.
gonna want to stack up on those warmers and load them from head to toe because you're outside all night in the weather capital of the world.
That's awesome.
We're driving from the frozen tundra.
Yeah,
I'm probably gonna come in my shorts and just shock the hell out of it. There's people still around my neighborhood that go shopping at the store in their board shorts.
You breathe cold.
People are insane around here.
I was shoveling in this t-shirt. That's what I was doing. I was outdoors in this t-shirt because like you get hot shoveling, and then like the coat's like constrictive. So like my parents' neighbors are like, "You're out of your mind. What's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "This is living, baby. This is living." And I'm just flying snow all over me. But awesome. So you East Coasters in the chat, welcome to everybody there. Be prepared because this shit is on its way. So be careful out there, everybody. But yeah, we're gonna talk a little Xplosion, open forum talk, get that wrapped up. And J-Bone's gonna talk Royal Rumble. So if you guys didn't watch it, you want to hang out with him, give it about 45-ish minutes, and he's gonna be starting that. So
and now though, start putting the questions in right now in the chat for the open forum, where we can get as many of them as possible in our limited amount of time at the dinner table.
Yeah. So that's our thing. Like we're not gonna beat Xplosion to death. You know, we're just gonna kind of go through it real quick and then open it up so we can get more of your questions in. Because Uncle Mark told us people are upset that we're not getting all their questions in, and I said, "What the hell are they getting upset about? You should be happy we're even doing this goddamn show on a Sunday night." but he's like, "Oh man, people really want to get their answers, you know, and stuff." I'm like, we hold all the answers, Bill. They're coming to us like we hold all the answers here. I don't know.
Oh, good for you.
But anyway, get your legs go.
Hey, Trent, clock's ticking.
Yeah, sorry, my bad.
Just like at the Rumble, they're doing the countdown there.
All right, I apologize. All right, let's kick it off, guys. It's Xplosion for the week. Super rare appearance on Xplosion. Friend of the show, quote unquote, friend of mine, I guess. Enemy of mine. The friend of my enemy is my friend. What the fuck I'm trying to say here? But anyway, Sami Callihan is on Xplosion. Rare appearance for him to be on Xplosion, taking on a newcomer, Brayden Lee, and he literally beat the piss out of him, which was interesting. You guys, Alicia, Bill, you guys have seen Brayden Lee on his GCW stuff. What is he doing out there on the East Coast?
Well, he just did. He was doing the GCW that just happened this weekend, the 24-hour show, Fight Forever. I think he had 3 matches on there.
Oh shit! Okay.
So he won one of them. I don't think he won the others, but I know he's been doing I first saw him in the Midwest, and I believe that was the same trip I did and stopped by AAW. He was on your show as well.
We had him over. Yep.
I think he's mainly Midwest, so he's done some GCW while he's in the Midwest. I don't think he had come over much to the East Coast until this past week.
I'm not familiar with him.
No, I want to say he's a Black and Brave student. I'm trying to remember what he told us when we had him. I think he's one of the Black and Brave guys. So super young. He came out. We had him AAW for a couple of shows. And I was producing him on a segment. He comes out with a water bottle. He didn't do it at this show on Xplosion, but he usually comes out with a big old like water bottle. And I'm like, I don't know I guess because he's an athlete, he's always hydrated. I don't know. But we were producing a promo for him. I was like, well, what's the character? I'm like, what are you trying to do? What's with the water bottle? It's like, well, I'm an athlete. I'm always trying to stay active. And I'm like, but like, how do you put that across? You know, what's your idea? So it made him think for a while because I think he's still in that. He's really young, like super young. I think he's like 22, right? You could tell. But he's just trying. I'm not opposed to a kind of guy like this getting in early. Because he's got potential. He's got potential. My only gripe, I don't know if any of you caught this, and at least I'll start with you if you caught this. There's a lot of wasted motion. There's a lot of that's my only gripe with him. Like he does a lot of unnecessary, like I'm standing here, I'm going to go for this like inverted flip, and I'm going to go for like this backhanded thing. And I'm going to, he did a lot of moves that it's like, I felt like it just I know he's trying to be flashy, but it seemed like it's too flashy for his own good. I don't know if I'm just being nitpicky, but.
Gotta do what you can in your limited time, right?
Yeah. I guess that's what it is. Like, you're just trying to show what you can. And I guess, I try to get your shit in. Yeah. Like, Bill, Jay, you guys catch that at all? Am I just being too picky? Or maybe I'm looking at it from, production. I'm more than anything. I'm very, very nitpicky on this.
I felt he was really athletic. I thought he
He's
looked
very
great
athletic.
with the limited amount of offense he did get in against Sami Callihan. Because man, I mean, Sami just ripped him up and just swallowed him up and spit him out. But I'll say this: I mean, so with some of the offense that this Brayden Lee kid did offer, man, he kind of reminded me of a young Pac. Like, you give him some more time in the business, and I could see him being the next guy like that. But it's, he's, I don't know how long has he been in the biz? Anybody know?
Year one. I think he's right out of school.
Really?
Man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think he's 1, maybe 2 years. Like, this kid's fresh.
Wow.
That's why I'm like, he's young.
pretty good for a year one guy. I mean, his athleticism really shined through. I mean, he sold well for Sami. I'll say that, because some people just don't sell for crap. But I mean, he took a beating, and he looked like he took a beating, and that's important. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they told a nice little story in the ring. Sami came out with the win, of course, with his package pal driver. But yeah, I mean, Brayden's got a great future. I wouldn't mind seeing him back in a year or whatever,
I was going to ask all three of you guys, like, would you want him back? Anybody in the chat too? Would you guys want to see him again?
Yeah, this was a tough draw, pun intended, for Brayden. So I agree. He showed, and right what Jay just said, he could tell how athletic he was. I know that you might feel like you're nitpicking that. Maybe some of those times didn't call for some of these athletic
that was
moves,
my only thing.
But it was a shorter match, even for Xplosion standards. So he didn't have a look, and it makes sense. Sami's a top guy, and he's not going to let this new guy get a ton in. So he was limited on where he could really show off his arsenal. So I see what was going on. It was a half and half, 50-50 type thing that really go for the whole story of the match, along with showcasing yourself, really, which that's what Xplosion is for these young guys. It's a showcase for obviously to get hired there or somewhere else or future bookings. So I can't really, I think they probably did the best job they could with what they had. But I saw him at the Collective. He really impressed me, Brayden. He did a lot of matches there. And I think, honestly, I'd get in on the ground floor. We've seen what happened with a bunch of these other guys. Ben Carter.
Missed him,
like he was gone right after he was there. See you.
Dude, quick.
Did you say we need more homegrown talent?
Yeah, get in.
No doubt.
East Austin. They took the shot on the young guy.
Yeah, he's a perfect example.
You got to take your shot on Lee Moriarty, on Trey Lamar, on at least a couple of these guys. And it could be, I don't know if we're going to do a J-Bo news or not, but obviously Blake Christian finished up his indie run.
Oh,
over
really?
The weekend. He had a loser leaves GCW match, obviously hinting that he's signing with a bigger promotion.
Oh, no shit. Okay.
And he obviously had his run in Impact. Yeah, Fight Forever. He lost in the main event against Ricky Shane Page for the title. So now he's obviously going to go somewhere. That could be obviously AEW, NXT, or it could be Impact where he just was. So once again, could that be another guy, though, they missed out on because they didn't get in early enough?
Yeah.
Like this isn't the old days where it's like, oh, take another year on the indies, work on your character, call us later. You lose everybody now.
Yeah.
You got to be willing to take in and train them yourself.
Yeah.
Like on the job training.
Iron's hot.
Yeah. That's a great point, though, because you're right. Even though you want them to go another year on the indies and develop and stuff and get a little better and come back, you can't. Like somebody's going to take them and just scoop them up. I don't even sign them to a 1-year deal. You don't want to sign to a full 3-year deal. Give Lee Moriarty, Blake Christian, here, we'll give you a year. Come in for a year and let's see what you do, and just give them a short deal. See what happens.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, blow them up on Xplosion, give them some X Division exposure. I mean, can do a lot with them.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So let's see. Well, we'll see what happens. I would say at this point, though, if you indie talent that should be hired, I think it's about time to start putting that out to Scott and all those guys. I think it's getting more and more scarce. People getting scooped up. Like I'm shocked. Like Karam, for example, he was on that 24-hour show last night with Rohit, right, with Hakeem, and he made a bunch of waves, man. Like someone's gonna get him out of that, and it's like if he's not the bodyguard being revealed on Tuesday, that's a big problem. It's like we lost a big one for Impact. Things like that. I'm just like, you're right, Bill. Like we got to get them quick, man. Even if they're not ready, like put them on Xplosion and make Xplosion the thing that gets them ready.
Yeah, heck, make Xplosion trend for this one. Hey, if you like Brayden Carter, I've got Brayden. I've got all mixed them all up now because they're all
Benjamin Carter.
Yeah, Benjamin Carter, Brayden Lee. They're all the same guy because they're all young, athletic guys that have a lot of potential, and some of them are going to be top guys.
Yep.
If you're willing to do that. So when we put out the stuff, put it to Scott, put it to Impact. Say or with guys that you want to see on Xplosion, because that looks to be where they're going with Xplosion. They're giving some of these young guys chances. Who do you want to see, or guys that you've seen? Let them know before it's too late, really, to sign these guys.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, chat. Cool. Who would you want to see?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Like Alicia said, guys, sound off. Throw us some names right here. Put it here, and and then we'll start kind of like watching. Maybe we'll keep an eye on some of these names if we don't know them.
Remember, Chris Bay was an Xplosion guy.
That's true.
Yeah.
Think about that.
He was around a few times, and then finally got signed. And if you're watching this on the replay, please sign off too. Just load up the comments and the replay as well.
Xplosion is a good stepping stone, and I'd actually like to see, maybe one or two more matches on it. If we're going to stick in the hour range and just, use the other things as fillers in between.
I agree. Like, I think the one thing you can scrap from Xplosion, I think, is the flashback. The flashback, you can keep the recap of last week's show on there, but that flashback, that eats up like Jay, you've timed. Well, there was a match, Jay, you timed out. It was like 20 minutes of Xplosion was like Kurt Angle and Christian Cage. I'm like, do we really need 20 minutes of this? It's like, I don't know.
Go ahead.
I was going to say they feature a lot of that stuff in the Impact in 60.
Yeah, exactly. It's on that. It's on Pluto.
Yeah.
The past stuff.
Exactly. There's enough things showing the old stuff where it's like, you could get away with just turning Xplosion into more new matches and fresh rookie stuff.
Yeah.
What are you going to say, Jay?
Oh, I was just going to say, this one was a really long match between Kurt Angle and Abyss. I mean, it was a good one, but,
Yeah. We'll
and then the clip from the main event was literally a clip that showed like 5 minutes of it. So,
yeah. We'll see, man. We'll see where they go with it. I just hope this is a year that they rebrand it. There's been talk. We've been pushing out a lot of our listeners because of what we talk about here. I've been pushing Impact and tagging Scott. So I don't know. I hope things move around with Xplosion. It's just time for it. So, so that was a match. Sami wins. Brayden Lee, definitely. I would say, you know what? He's young. Tweet him out. Encourage him that, hey, I saw your Xplosion match. Good job. We'd like to see you back. Like, he's a young guy, man. Like, he's trying to make it. That a little tweet from a fan who's never seen him can mean the world to a kid like that.
Yeah.
So, it's encouraging. He's brand new trying to get this going. And nobody really knows how much traffic Xplosion gets. So, like, shoot him. I think it's Brayden X Lee on Twitter. So if you guys are listening in the chat or afterwards, shoot him a tweet. Just tell him you like the match. And actually, I think it's pretty cool that it was against Sami. I think that's awesome they gave him that trust. Yeah. So, awesome. Around the ring.
That's also like a nod towards Sami that he took this match.
Sami always, man. I will say, even though he's my arch nemesis currently in the moment, but he's he definitely always puts over young guys. He's always been about putting young people and women. He's one of the early people to get on the intergender wrestling trend and not have a problem selling for women. What a lot of people did, at a time where certain talents didn't want to even touch it. He was like, I'll do it and I'll get it over. Like, Sami's very generous about that stuff, and I always appreciate him for that. So very cool. Around the ring,
we're third away into the show, so get those questions. I really don't see any in there yet. So
if there's none in there, we're ending early.
Get those questions in there.
Yeah, that's Bill's reminding you twice already. So if you guys know nothing in there, we're out. We're out after Xplosion time. But around the ring was Baby Hebner, Brian Hebner, his return. So it's referee month on Around the Ring. Ooh. So it's going to be all the referees sitting down with Penzer. His was cool. Any highlights? Alicia, you want to kick this one off? Anything else? But this one that caught your ear at all?
I just like the stories he told. It's always interesting hearing, a younger person's, or when he was younger, perspective of his experiences with wrestling and everything.
Especially because who his dad was and stuff too. I thought that was kind of cool, and his uncle. Bill, anything stick out to you on that? He told some cool stories there.
Yeah, no. Obviously, he goes about like what got him in, like who wants to be a referee. Like that's a good question.
Which is funny, right? Like who goes and want to be a referee?
And then he does say like he definitely wanted to be a wrestler, but he knew that wasn't going to be a long-term answer to what he wanted to do. And obviously, with his dad and his uncle being major referees in the business, that's a natural progression to go. Okay, I want to be in the business. I can do this. I can learn how to do this. So no, I think that's definitely and he goes into that. I think it's a good story. It was interesting and as soon as Penzer asked about the difference, like in the locker room from when he left, I was interested in see how he's going to answer that. I was a little surprised at his answer. Like obviously saying great things about the now locker room, but he kind of buried the locker room that he left.
Which is
and
weird,
there's a lot
right?
of people still there from that locker room.
I know.
So I don't know. Now it was the same group running the show. So that was a little weird. I don't know. Like maybe he was more referencing that previous group that left, but that was like within that year, like a year earlier than like 6 months to a year. So maybe he's more referencing that than kind of who came in. So he doesn't really acknowledge that. But that was the only thing because I was a little surprised because he kind of threw that whole regime under the bus.
Which is weird. Yeah, you don't expect that
because I was there. Like obviously, you did have there was worries about like the solvency of the company and all that, but it seemed like he was kind of throwing out like people didn't care, like the performers didn't care, like that I've not heard of.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, do you think some of it was played up though, just for the sake of?
It could have been. It could have been. Like my guess is he might be referring to only like one or two people, and who knows, maybe they were long gone by then, and it was just kind of getting mixed around. But that was the one thing, and that's the thing I do appreciate this with the Penzer interviews. They are kind of like a shoot for the most part.
They are,
and that was like I wasn't expecting that. I'm like, ooh, because that's the one thing. Obviously, the referees all left. It was public, based on. I think they were all offered contracts, so like the new regime was on board with them, but they were less than I believe what they were already making. So they left based on that. But obviously, we did see at Bound for Glory last year. We saw Stifler make at least a one-time appearance, but Brian's under a contract. He confirms that. We don't know for how long, but he's not just like it's not for these days. It seems like he's going to be around at least for this year, I would imagine.
Yeah, it seems like it. He's in. It's good to have him, man. It's really cool to have him there. He's definitely a classic from those days. So he talks about his uncle, his dad, the whole.
I like the bus story.
The bus story is interesting. Earl Hebner owned a bus that they tour around in, like a school bus.
And he was also like carrying like the ring and stuff. Like he was carrying all this stuff in there. Kerosene heater in the middle.
Referees do a lot more than you expect, man. Referees, I swear, they're unsung heroes of pro
wrestling.
And
like obviously it's not no secret because Johnny Bravo puts the pictures out there where he's like you see him in gorilla with like the earpiece in, like so with referees almost everywhere from the indies up until TV production, they're involved in a lot more than you think because they really are like the eyes and ears of the back during the matches, making sure everything has the look for TV. Like if something needs to be corrected, they are doing a lot of work in there, which you might not think they do, but they are unsung in the great showmanship of it all.
They are, man. Refs are cool. Refs are really important parts of the show, not just counting 1, 2, 3. So cool. That was the around the race. I'm excited. Did he say who's next week? They didn't announce that next week, right?
Well, they did say it was going to be all three. So we're getting more referee interviews.
Yeah, it's referee month basically.
Yeah, so I don't know though who's next. I'm not sure if it's Toll or referee Daniel. That I don't know. He
did say 3 referees and a former referee. Did you catch that? So I'm guessing Bravo maybe is part of that.
Yes, probably.
Oh, sure.
So it could be him as well.
Bravo.
You can't do without Bravo. You need Bravo. The other thing I caught though, it was Striker solo doing that commentary.
It was,
and he was cool, man. He was pretty spot on. He was telling backstories, wrestler perspective, just good analysis. No color, no D-Lo, but it was cool to hear Striker I mean, this is like Josh is out. Like that's the last of the Josh stuff has been aired, and it's all striker commentary now. So cool to have that. But yeah, that was it. That's Xplosion. There was a couple. So Jay, do you have the throwback and flashback? Let's quickly mention it.
The classic match was No Surrender 2007. Abyss going for the Impact Championship from a defending Kurt Angle.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Kurt Angle wins, taps him out at the end.
Okay, cool. And then the just the recap match.
The recap match was it was clips from the main event 2 weeks ago. It was when Matt Hardy and not Hardy, excuse me, Jerry Lynn interfered in the main event.
All right, cool.
One that we were all very upset about.
With the captain's log notepad. That's cool. That was Xplosion, guys. Awesome. We're making perfect time. Perfect time. We wrapped up Xplosion quick. Now, Bill, anybody put topics in? If not, we're going to.
There are some, and let's see. I know there was kind of already hinted at, but I don't know where everyone is because this was only published yesterday, so I don't think everyone got a chance to go in depth. But let me highlight. I know a couple people mentioned it, but here's it in the form of a question. So in respect to Alex Trebek, we will post the one that was in form of a question. What did you guys think of the Knockouts Roundtable? So first, I don't know who here has seen it or not. It was hard to hear about Brooke and Taryn, not because Brooke Tessmacher, Taryn Terrell, they were on this along with other past Knockouts. Watching wrestling that much because they miss it so much. I know I miss seeing them in Impact overall, though that is more of the kind of content that Impact needs.
I popped that down because that's eating up the entire screen for some reason. I don't know why that did that.
Yeah, I don't know if that's one of the new formats with the bubbles or something, but yeah, that's
maybe. I tried
like
changing.
Wilson from Home Improvement.
Heidi home neighbor. I started it. I didn't finish it yet. So I don't know if any of you guys.
Yeah, it's about an hour.
Yeah.
I haven't had the chance to listen to it. I was gonna wait for my snow day tomorrow to tune in.
You're gonna like it. Like it's already really cool.
Oh, it's great.
I'm already excited because of who they got for it, and I would like to see more content like this.
Yeah, like bring back some old.
In hitting an RK's kind of comment here, that's something that you hear often a lot about retired performers in the business. If they don't stay involved. And this can be in sports, this can be in a lot of things. They get out of it totally because they really don't like if they can't stay in it, they don't want to be part of it. And it's not because they don't love it, because obviously they love the business, but it almost hurts to kind of see it from afar without being able to be in it. So I get that, and that is sad to see. Like obviously there might be other roles. Like obviously Gail's working backstage now. Christy did ring announcing. So there are forms, but it's sad to say, obviously we're in Knockouts month. Maybe those roles are limited, sadly, for women in wrestling. So
let's change
that. There should be more, because once there kind of is like a shelf life. I know we've had the conversation like with Taya. We love Taya, but she's probably on, if she's going somewhere, probably a very short deal, just based on how long she's already been in the business. It's one of those things where they don't really promote talents that have experience for their own reasons. And because there's really not a lot of roles beyond on-camera roles.
That's true, man. It's very true.
I'll say this without giving too much away for Alicia, but I watched it. It was a tremendous way to wrap up Knockouts month on Impact Plus. It really was. It was great to see stories from all these women, some really good, some kind of goofy, and you could tell they didn't all share the same opinions on stuff, and that's okay, because some came in at different times and had different experiences. That was a big part of it, without giving too much away. So but yeah, it was really cool to see everyone's side of it. The only bummer part was ODB was only in it for about 20 minutes due to technical difficulties.
Oh, that sucks.
So
I love Taryn Terrell, though. I'm a huge fan of Taryn Terrell's, and just to see her just next to them all, I was like, because she's out. Like, Taryn's totally out. Like, she's a mom, and she's running, like, triathlons. Like, she's being a wife and mom. She's, like, not even touching wrestling. And her Instagram, I follow her Instagram. Like, she's really cool. Like, super mom. Like, she's awesome. It's just cool to see her back in some capacity, just sitting with the girls. Velvet, everybody loves because she's still such a big supporter of Impact. Just great to see these people. Christy, who's a mom of 5 now, who had, I think, quintuplets or whatever, like, which is crazy. So she's there. Like, it was just nice to see everybody. And I like, if you do something like this once a month, you could sell Impact Plus on, like, hey, you're gonna get original panels from, like, former and present stars. Like, I think people would be all in for $8. Yeah, it was an hour too, Alicia. Like, it's an hour long, and it's, you get a lot of shit. I mean, you get a lot of talking in an hour. For $8, it's worth the $8, like, to have the hour for me. You know what I mean? That's cool.
Yeah, the world's set up this way now with the Zoom calls and all these. It's not easy to get a hold of people. So for nostalgia, obviously, Impact Plus, what they want to do with it, one of the main things with Xplosion, and I know not everyone likes it, as you said earlier, like the 20-minute throwback match, classic match, to help sell. You can get these great matches. So they love their nostalgia. But let's where are they now? Pretty much. I would love with a lot of the old talent, especially those Asylum years.
Yeah,
shout out to the throwback shows on Thursday.
Follow them around for a day. Do a mini doc. You know,
be something cool, man. They can film it on their own even, and like let somebody edit it in or something. You know what I mean? Just something cool. So again, guys, I always say vote with your dollars, and you guys can. We've seen it where the fans have made things happen. All you guys gotta do is be noisy on Twitter. The company listens. That company listens, man.
Yeah, same thing. Say you like this special with the Knockouts Roundtable, and tag those knockouts. Hey, some of them maybe you want to see them back in some role. Like, bring them back. Hey, No Place Like Home. Hopefully he's still out there.
Yeah, I honestly, to me, I keep going back to Taryn. Like, and I don't know if Alicia, if you're a big Taryn Terrell fan, but you were there on her debut, right? The Dallas debut. Was that the show you mentioned you guys were at?
I wasn't at that one, but I do fondly remember. Like, even her rise from, like, when she first started and all that.
Decay debuted up in Bethlehem back in 2016.
Decay. Oh, you guys are the Decay.
Yeah.
I thought the Dollhouse one was in Bethlehem too. Maybe I was
at the Menagerie.
Oh yeah. Right. That's right. No, they're all. I mean, Taryn's amazing. Like, for her to be like a character coach, you know, a producer for the women, you know, like,
yeah, absolutely,
she could do wonders. Like, I've seen, like, when I was there at Bound for Glory Week, Gail's like agenting matches. I'm like, man, you got like somebody like Taryn to help cut promos with some of these girls, or something. Just be like the on-site producer for the vignettes. Should be awesome. And I'm not limited to her. Yeah, but just I'd love to see them back. They're good at what they do. Why not use them? You know, so. But very cool. That was awesome.
Yeah. And the wrap-up Knockouts month, they did add one other piece of content. Eric mentioned here, behind the curtain. D'Lo Brown interviewed Deanna, so also check that out.
Yeah, Mark was telling me about this. He said it's really good. I was going to try to watch it today, but I had to dig out a bunch of snow. So, I heard this is awesome too. A lot of shit to watch over the next day or so. So very cool, very, very cool, guys.
Along with an absolute plethora of classic knockouts matches to go dive through. Ton of them. You know, they were relaunching a few of them every week and adding them to this knockouts list. So yeah, go check it out, man.
That's awesome. Hell yeah! All right, next one we got here, Bill.
From Critical Sting, who do you think gets a title first? Trey Miguel, the returning Trey Miguel, or still Son Bay, Chris Bay?
Oh man!
Honestly,
what title though?
Yeah. What in general?
A title? Do you mean world title or just X World Tag?
Yeah, because Bay's already been X Division champion, so he's already ahead of Trey in that sense.
You're right.
I think Trey's in for a monster push though, no matter what. Like, I think just Trey is going to be factored into like top guy level kind of shit coming up.
I think both of them are in the running for a good 2021.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, Bay has been built awesome. He's saying any title as well, Critical Sting. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. They're building Bay a lot, but I might go with Trey. I think Trey's gonna get out of here first because it's been a long time coming for those Rascals, man. And he could be the redemption factor for.
He really stepped up last year.
Yeah, he sure did. He sure did. You going? So Alicia, you're gonna go with Trey? Or you going with Bay? Trey Bay.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Pass
to Bill.
I will go with the next title, any title. I will go Trey with the X Division title.
Right.
But I think world champion Chris Bay will win that before Trey wins the world title.
Okay, cool. Jay, what do you got on this one?
I'm going to agree with Bill with the exception of so Trey sometime in 2021 gets a world title shot. Maybe, hey, just, fantasy booking a little. I don't do this a lot. Maybe, in the future, runs a gauntlet with Moose, takes it off of him later this year. Who knows? Something like that.
All right. Interesting. All right. Cool. What else we got here, Bill? Any other?
All right, well, we pass him back. Or is Alicia?
No, I'm good.
It's like Family Feud, man. It's like you want to play or pass.
Sure.
You want to pass.
Forgotten. All right, we got Ronan with a question here.
Corner gets a square.
Yeah, if you had a choice of one wrestler to pick up again, would you grab Eli Drake or Nick Aldis? For those Impact TNA only people, that is Magnus.
Man.
This is easy.
Yeah.
Is it too easy? Are we all going to say the same thing?
Eli Drake.
In a very insulting way?
In a not so insulting, just straight to the point, Eli Drake.
Yeah, no doubt. I am
dummy. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Eli Drake, man. This is an Eli Drake thing. Come on. I mean, is anybody gonna say Nick Aldis here?
Yeah,
Jay, don't be that guy.
But we're not.
No offense.
It's hard
to
on Eli.
Aldis, but Eli Drake had more of a personality, and I feel like he stuck out more.
Yeah, he's just such a person. Yeah, he's just such a character on TV. Like he just looks. I don't know. He has it. He's got that it factor. I'm just shocked he's not on TV. Like nobody has signed him. I don't know what the reason is, but it blows my mind that he's not on TV.
The world's crazy right now.
True. He's. Well, what do you got, Jay?
Oh, I'd say Drake. I'm still a fan of Drake. I haven't seen his recent content. I know he just recently lost the tag titles in the NWA with Storm to Aaron. I can't think of his name. Formerly TNA as well.
Yeah, Aaron Rex.
And then whoever's underneath the mask with Aaron Rex, whatever. So.
But yeah, just to pop in there, obviously, like, does Nick even want to come back? Because he's very Team Billy, and then neither wants to come back, but Eli could have been that dude. They did give him a push for a while. So,
yeah. Cool. All right. That was an easy one.
Yeah, that was an easy one. Yeah, we can go some fast and furious with some of these. All right, here's Eric with instead of a comment, a question this time. Who you think Rohit Bodyguard is? I think we already know who Trent might think it is. And I wouldn't mind Shira. Now, Shira, that's who a lot of us think it was. For storyline with TJP, who used to be a stable with him. Can be only one. And Storm is back. And last, who you guys want to see join Decay? Larry D would be good.
Ooh. This is a good question.
Let's throw that up there again.
All right.
Two big questions.
It's a lot. All right. That's Wilson. Well, it's doing that. I got to look into that, see what's going on there. So who the bodyguard is first, right? That's what we're starting with. Who do you think the bodyguard is? I want it to be Karam, but I think it's Shira, which is really upsetting me right now. So I don't want it to be Shira just for the sake. I feel it's a step back for Rohit. It's just putting him back with anything related to the Hit Squad right now, I think he did so much to shake off of that. And even if Shira's purely a bodyguard and it's not the Hit Squad, it's visually the Hit Squad. And I can't think that. So I wish it was Karam. I just think it's Shira because we got Shira on Xplosion a couple weeks ago. So I don't know. I think Alicia, you're pretty much on that same thing.
Yeah.
Like I really, guys, if you haven't seen Karam, He was on these GCW shows this weekend with him. And he's basically we built him in AAW. Like that team was built by us in AAW. And if you just want to seriously just go YouTube Hakeem Zayn and Karam AAW, and you'll just see this kid is literally like he's got it. And if this they didn't take him now, I don't know what the hell it's going to take. But this kid's got it, and he is absolutely the future, man. He can go.
I'll say this, Trent.
Yes,
I was pretty convinced it was Shira. But Rohit, our good friend, could be a little bit of a troll.
He is.
And I think he may
worker.
be trolling us. By throwing the Sky High comment. Big guy, seems like they have a past. Shira seems obvious. He's been on Xplosion lately. It seems obvious. But if you watch those GCW promos this past weekend, it's all about him saying how TV ready Karam is. It was hinting a lot that they're going to do stuff together on TV. It might be. I think if it's any other than those two, that would really be a wild card. So it seems it's one or two. But if I put Shira at 90% after last Tuesday, I may have dropped it down to maybe like 60, 65. I still think it's Shira, but I think Karam's now a chance.
Very interesting.
I'm telling you, there's a chance.
Yeah, and there's a comment. There's a comment here. Ronan Blue says Shogun Jackson. We know he was
that's
at
my
the
10%.
we know he was at the tapings. So I think there's a chance of that too. He's not that big. Is he that big of a guy?
He's probably bigger than Rohit.
Yeah.
It's just Rohit looking up to the guy. So he might be a little bigger. He might be a lot bigger. I think we all assume it's a giant.
I know that Shogun is a bigger built guy.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think there's a chance it could be him. I've heard some people say they want to see Shogun show up as part of this rebranded recalling of Decay, because he already does wear some face paint. He could be like their muscle or something.
That'd be cool too.
There's a few different ways you could insert Shogun into this roster and have it be good, a part of something else. I think that's a good way to bring him in as opposed to on his own, then he's really got an uphill battle. So if you insert him into something already established, with Rohit to be his muscle or to be the muscle of Decay, then at least you've got, I don't want to say a better, for lack of better words, I'll say a better chance of him shining, because he could play off of someone else and it won't all be the pressure be on him.
Interesting. I didn't even think about the Shogun aspect, so that's kind of interesting.
Now, just to get the other part of that question, if it is Shira, which I know that's not your preference, would you bring up Revolution? Would you bring up that previous storyline in a possible arc with the TJP Manic character?
No.
Or do you just ignore that?
Ignore that.
Some you bring up, some you don't. That's wrestling.
That one just didn't have enough legs to run. To me, it just didn't have enough momentum. It never really got off the ground fully enough for me to make it like, well, it's going to be it's going to be a pivot point for a conversation to be like, oh, we'll ground into that, and it's like it's forgettable enough at that sense. That's just me. Other people might have liked it. I think it was too short-lived for that. So
yeah, it wasn't a long storyline for sure.
No,
and they're all over the place. Like, cause you have Sonata now, much bigger in New Japan, so it's all over the place now. And then it was mentioned with Shogun, maybe in Decay, the last part of it. Larry D in Decay. Anybody else for that third member of Decay?
Oof. Yeah.
I don't think he should add anybody right now.
The original.
Why do
Abyss's shoes? Like what? Abyss's shoes are really big to fill. And do we necessarily need that?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Jinx, show me a coat.
Like why do it so quickly? Like what's the rush to fill that spot, right?
Yeah.
Like it's kind of cool. Just the
Why
two
is
of them.
it necessary? Just because
Yeah, like-
Decay got back together doesn't mean they need to
That's
have
such a good point.
trio.
Yeah, like we don't need to like right away. We got to put a third one in to fill the Abyss. Like for what? Let's, if anything, build up to that. So that's a great point. I'm all for that. Bill, you want to chime in on that?
I agree. Although this is where I would go with it if I did bring in someone.
Mm-hmm.
I would go to a previous storyline. I would love to see it be Bram.
Bram. Well, there's a tie-in back to a story with that.
Yeah, that's why I would go Bram, because I think that one would make sense. I've always been a big Bram fan. I remember in 2015 being at the backstage meetings with the writers at the time, including Billy, and saying like, "Hey, give Bram that push, man. Give him the monster push." And I think he'd make a lot of sense because you could tie it in with the stuff with Rosemary from years ago. So that would be my first thought in going there. But once again, when it made sense. I don't think you're in a rush to do that. But I think him and Steve, maybe it's a tag team going after tag titles at some point, could be a nice little thing. So
that's interesting. Oh, okay. There's these are some good. Did he leave on good terms? I'm trying to remember.
I don't think he left on horrible terms. I don't think he's some of those other guys that went to NWA out of vengeance. I think he's one that'd be willing to come back.
Is he still under contract though? I don't even know.
Wait, let me.
What?
Where's those NWA contracts? Where's my toilet paper?
Oh man, Bill, it's Sunday. This is the Lord's Day. My God, my God.
I have the runs.
Jesus, Bill.
Jiminy Christmas.
You know, if you keep talking like that, Billy Corgan might come out and
I could file an injunction.
Yeah, he might do that.
I'll find an injunction for that last Pumpkins album.
Holy crap! Holy crap! Come on, Bill. It's the same band that gave you Melancholy, for God's sake. Come on.
Original lineup a bust from me.
Hey, listen, as a Chicago, and I gotta agree with you on that one. They're hometown for us, so I gotta agree with you on that. Original lineup or nothing. But all right, cool. What else we got? We got a couple more.
All right, let's go with a very quick question. Who misses Jeremy Borash? I just missed the frosted tips.
I'll say the creative mind, yes.
Yeah.
On camera,
You're right.
Like I don't need him on camera, but man, like nobody was a bigger part of like early to even very recent production of that company. That was all the progressive thought. I mean, we make fun of it, at least on Throwback a lot of times. You're not on that, but we do the Throwback show and like early video packages, like music videos, like they're primitive as shit. But it's 2003. But like JB was doing all those on his Mac, like his MacBook, like himself.
Yeah.
So it's like I got full respect for the guy. Like he was literally grinding it out, you know, just
very similar to Josh Matthews. A lot of behind the scenes stuff that doesn't get noticed or appreciated. He did have a hand in. So
he did.
Kudos to JB. And if you are the loudest fan tonight, you could go backstage.
Yeah, man, that would have worked. That JB with that fucking gimmick, man. But no, fond memories for sure. But you know, I'll tell you this: if it ever came down to like JB left WWE, I would absolutely 200% say like that there's got to be a spot for him at
I'm sure there would be.
Right? Like, yeah, I mean, he's
left
just
on good standing, right?
He did leave on a good night. It's just contract was done, or he was just like, time for me to move on. That old guard was leaving, and it's like, cool, it's time to go. So yeah, I think it's fine. So okay, cool. What else we got, Bill?
Terrence Sullivan, good friend of the show. If you could pick two unsigned women on the indies to become knockouts on a 1-year deal, as we were talking about earlier with the different men on Xplosion, who would you pick? My choices are Heather Monroe and Renee Michelle. Nice. Familiar with Renee Michelle, and some people, Heather Monroe did have some different matches on Xplosion, I believe, and she was part of the the Housewives of Slamtown.
Yeah. She's good friends with Taya. Cool. I'll let you start because you do a lot of the indies. So what do you got? What do you think?
Ooh. For unsigned, I hate to just kind of go too standard with this because I think Renee Michelle, but obviously Killer Kelly, she's not signed by Impact. She'd be my number one target right now because I think she is a needle mover. But who knows? As we just saw with Trey Miguel, before we would probably say, "Oh, he's gone. He's going away. He left."
Yeah.
But then he came back. So if people want to throw Ty up there, Tessa, you can, because it could happen. It's wrestling. Anything can happen.
Ty is a good one to throw in there. All right. Alicia, you got a couple picks?
I do. I would like to see either Harlow or Sarah the Rebel.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. I don't know Harlow.
Both were featured in WoW in the same faction.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember what their names were, like Razor and...
I got to see. I don't know either one of these two.
Yeah, they were kind of like punk, kind of, right? Punk.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
punk
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look these two up. That's interesting. I want to get to know who these are.
Fury.
Cool.
WoW Fury. I'm looking up their WoW handles.
Sarah the Rebel.
Yeah.
Cool.
She's also on that women. There's a women's perspective podcast. It's called something like that. She's part of that too.
She was also one of the undead bridesmaids.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yes, both maybe.
Okay, interesting. All right, cool. I gotta check these two out. I have no idea. I never
look them up. They're really cool.
I will. I absolutely will. Jay, you got any you wanna throw in there?
From that same family of the WoW show, I'd say Giselle Shaw played a couple different characters, and she's been on a few different like Impact Plus shows.
Yeah, she was on those Destiny shows. Like super athletic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and she's good. I like her. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on someone that's out there? Probably their non-compete is about over. Is that former member of LAX? That
you got Diamante?
No. Well, aren't they part of the early ones with we know one half of the former knockout champions has already been available.
Sarah Stock.
Tag team partner.
Is that Rosita? Is that Rosita?
Rosita is free now. That's about 90 days at this point, I would say.
Oh, yeah. Well, she can come back with a former tag partner, maybe.
She has sharpened up her skills quite a bit since she left. So, yeah, that's not a bad idea.
And then there's still Taylor Wilde out there.
Taylor Wilde's on a comeback.
Are we just assuming she's not?
She's been hinting she's out there. I mean, she's looking to come back. I would throw in personally. I'd go with I like Christy Janes. I think she's fun.
Yeah.
You know, she's just a really positive person. If you follow her online, so she's very like fun. Like talk about a good element to bring to your locker room.
Much like this one, which I wouldn't mind back either.
Yeah. Katie'd be fun too, man. But I think Katie and Rob are a package deal now. I think that's
right.
Well,
that's what I'm saying.
I don't want to steal the J-Bone Thunder, but he didn't show up tonight. So
that's right. He did not. From what I understand, he did not. So
no, and in fact, I was looking for a few different faces. No Tessa either, and the women's rumble was really
showing up there.
Not a lot of surprise faces in the women's rumble.
Yeah. Oh, here's a comment from Ronan Blue.
I'm a big Sky Blue fan. I've recently been working with her at AAW. She's very new to us there. She's very early. I put it this way: she cut like basically her first promo with us, and she was like, nobody ever. And I was like coaching her with a promo, and she was like, "That's crazy. Nobody ever does this with me. Like any other promotions I've ever worked." She's very, very green. Go back to what we were saying. Get them in young. But I think there's other girls who are ready to go like balls in on the knockout. Just go hard on the knockouts division rather than like develop somebody who's 22 and just like only a couple years out right now. And there's a lot of women who are ready to just because remember the knockouts division is not as big as the men's, so like you almost don't have time to get somebody that new. Sky Blue maybe another year or two. I'd say she's gold to come in. Her looks great. She's got that Kylie type factor. You know, happy, lovable. But just give me another year of her developing what she wants to be before she comes in, because then you can come in strong. So, but cool. I'm gonna go with Christy Janes. That's a big one for me.
Yeah, let's go with Elijah next. And just heads up, everyone, get your last minute questions in. We're coming up on the hour here. So,
yep.
All right. Would you guys like to see Tennille Dashwood turn into the dark side like Laurel Van Ness by losing or getting frustrated? And last one, do you think Dreamer is turning heel when he faces Rich Swann? So a two-parter there. Because I agree with this whole Dashwood thing. We've been seeing I've been surprised how much she's been losing lately. So I think something's going to have to come of this.
I wouldn't mind her changing it doing that just to change it up a little bit. Something fresh. Like why not? It'd just be different for her to do something she's never done. So I wouldn't mind that. Just why not? I've never connected with her character yet, even with the new thing with Caleb. And I don't connect with Tennille Dashwood character. So if you want to put another element on it and see if that works, that's just me personally. I'm all for it. Go to Alicia.
I would like to see her be less jokey and more vicious.
Yeah, and that's what he's kind of hinting here, right? But
he's talking Laurel Van Ness. Some of the driver almost crazy. Like maybe you have crazy makeup, Tennille.
I just again, Laurel Van Ness was real jokey.
Yeah,
she was too. She was very jokey.
So you say more Rosemary than
mean. No, maybe just more vicious. Like everything's more mean spirited, and just.
Are you talking like early beautiful people here?
Yeah, but nastier.
Oh, that's pretty nasty.
Almost like a Victoria.
Ooh,
very topical,
aggressive, and she always struck quickly. And I feel like that vibe would be more of a heel aspect for her.
Okay, yeah, very topical. But I heard she returned tonight after a long time.
Oh yeah.
Such a very topical. Yeah, it's been a long time. There was a lot of controversy about why she wasn't invited back for a long time. So. She's back in. That's cool. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I wouldn't mind it. And then Dreamer turning heel. I don't think so. Not at 50. At this, it's not meant to be a big run with Dreamer turning heel, like with Dreamer in this title match. I don't know.
He can play a heel, but I don't think it would ever be a permanent factor. He would just have heel-like features.
Yeah, if anything, I go with that.
He's too over. It's Uncle Tommy.
He's Uncle Tommy. He's like the uncle. He's the J-Bone of the Impact locker room.
Yeah.
Although now would be the perfect time though, because you don't have fans, so you could sell a heel turn.
Yeah.
A little better. It'd be easier with the fans not cheering for him when you're trying to make him heel. But I think the way he would have to be heel is it would be to groom somebody to be a heel with him. Like he'd have to turn somebody dark together, and because you sort of had him doing, but and it was a tweener when he was doing it with Eddie. Because he was like the voice of reason to Eddie during that whole thing. Like, don't go as crazy as I did.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. What about you? Bill? You got a take, or Jay? You guys want to chime in on that?
I mean,
the awkward silence between both of you made me nervous.
I could see Tommy going heel, but it makes more sense if he's going to drag someone with him.
Yeah.
Like Eddie, who looks like he's already going back kind of. I mean, God, he bit Brian Myers' face off for crying out loud.
Well, true, he did. All right, Bill, you got a take on that?
Yeah, no, I think he will. I think it would work. I think it would work, but it just has to be the right way. Like maybe you go back because they have a history, him and Eddie. If you're going to turn Eddie heel, full heel, which they've never done. They did it with Davey back in the day.
That's true.
Now, how about that? I like to bring it up almost every other month. But how about bringing Davey Richards back as the heel with Tommy Dreamer being the one that kind of brings him in or something?
Oof.
That all just depends on if he's back in the scene,
That's it. That really is what it comes down to. Davey's a wild card too, so who knows?
If you're going to bring Davey back, I'd rather see him just team up with Eddie again and be like a heel tag team. I think they could both really pull that off well. The athleticism and really bring an edge to it.
Okay, well, we'll have to see. Yeah, that's wild card stuff. We'll see where it goes. Bill, get one more in there. What do we got? A good one. Let's end it on a high note here. What do we have, everybody? What do we have?
Just looking here.
But in the meantime, guys, that's while he's looking, don't forget, if you are listening to this after we air live,
critical stick at the bottom.
You go to put your comments in the put your comments on YouTube, just in like the regular comment section. We can always chat there. All right, last one. Here we go. Go ahead, Bill.
If you could take one talent from today's roster and put them in a past generation, who would it be?
One talent from today's roster and put them in a past generation.
Trey in the X division.
Well, interesting. Okay, Trey. I got one for Trey. What do you got, Bill?
Let's see. For today's roster, and go back the past generation. So you go Asylum years, you go Spike TV era. Who would be the best fit today? Now I'm trying to think. Am I picking someone that's not fitting in as well today that could have been fitting better then?
Yeah, critical sting. A lot of vague questions from you tonight. A lot of open-ended questions going on here today. But
let's see. Well, yeah, who would just crush it in another time frame? It's Knockouts month. I'm feeling knockouty. Yeah. Let's go with Deanna during the early Gail Kim era, like when Gail set their world on fire.
That's a good one.
Get that
late 2000s.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see your knockouts one, Bill, and I'm gonna raise you another knockouts one here. Jordan Grace in the Awesome Kong era, which is that same era you're talking about. Jordan Grace placed in the classic 2008-9 Awesome Kong, dominating the knockouts division era. I'm gonna go with that. Knockouts month. I'm gonna go with that. I'll do that.
If I had Jordan Grace, I'd put her in freaking the Asylum years and have her win the X Division title.
Oh shit! Well, listen. I already got my take on that. Where it should have been Trinity anyway, but I'm not gonna get into that. Go ahead, Jay. What do you got?
Oh man, God, it's tough. I'll say it's kind of an easy one, kind of a gimme, but and I was trying to think of something a little more in depth. But I'll say Ace Austin and put him in the Asylum days.
All right.
Have him go off of early Chris Sabin, early Styles, Siaki, that crew. That'd have been. Man.
Ooh, that would be good. All right, cool. Very cool. All right, let's wrap it up because Jay has to go over to his other review. Jay, sorry if you're running a little late, but Jay's going to jump over to Smash and do.
It's all good.
Let's get the plug here. Jay, plug that first, right real quick. Where are you going to jump over to right now after this is over?
So right after this, I'm going to take just a couple-minute break to refresh myself, and I'll be kicking off the Royal Rumble review over on Smash's podcast. You can find it on YouTube and on Twitch. Go follow all the socials as well. The Face box, the Twitter box, and that good old Instaneck.
There you go, guys. Get him on Smash's podcast. He's going live just as soon as we get off the air here for a couple minutes. Alicia, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter under the handle Alicia BKK.
There you go, guys. Give her a follow. Bill, where are you at on socials?
Oh, on the old Twitter and the Instagram. And my name, William M. Gardner, GARDNER. And Trent, tell them about the upcoming sale on PWTs this week.
Oh, man. 20% off and free shipping, I believe.
What? That's crazy. Free shipping.
The free shipping is clutch because that shipping bugs the shit out of me. Shipping on anything.
They could buy just a TNI shirt and not have to pay shipping.
$20 flat, minus 20%. It'll cost you $16 flat. So go ahead and just pick one up, guys. Honestly, this is the time to do it. ProWrestlingTees.com/Total Nonstop Impact. Go get a t-shirt. You haven't gotten a t-shirt, go get a t-shirt. They're cheap now. That's cheap. No shipping cost.
Hey, and they still could be on this show by purchasing a t-shirt.
You can come on this show. You buy a shirt, you come on this show. We'll still open that up. But we'll see who does it. But and also if anybody who didn't cash that in, let us know. I thought there was somebody who never cashed that reward in. If you don't have to. I just want to know if you wanted to. So if you didn't do it, let us know. Guys, you can get me at Trendsbury over on Twitter as well. The show at We Talk Impact, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Just type in Total Nonstop Impact, comes right up. Discord, join the conversation. The convo between this show, main show, throwback, all goes on in between, days in between on Discord. Link is in the description below. Twitch.tv/Total Nonstop Impact, YouTube.com/Total Nonstop Impact. All audio formats, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Spotify. Get it on everything. Take it on the go. Rate, review, subscribe, guys. Get it wherever you want. And be sure to connect with us. All the international listeners, thank you guys so much. This show does very well all across the board. This Impact Plus Weekly, it shocks me. I don't know how it does, but like the numbers on this always blow my mind. You guys must really like the open forum and Xplosion talk. So you like Xplosion, tweet Impact. Let them know you like this show, talking about it, whatever. Make your voices heard. Vote with your dollars. That's what I would say. Just vote with your dollars, guys. Let them know what you want. They will listen. So I think that does it. Did I forget anything, Bill?
Where can they find you, Trey?
I said it. I said it right before. Trendsberry over on Twitter. Get me over there, guys. I said it real quick.
I got. It was real quick.
Check me out real quick. Get me in there.
And the band. Don't forget the band that sometimes you're a part of.
Yeah, sometimes I'm a part of HEMI Music over on Twitter and Instagram. Give us a follow. I'm really working on the Instagram a lot more lately, so give us a follow on Instagram. HEMI Music, HEMIMUSIC. All right, guys, that'll do it for us. Tuesday night, we're back with the flagship show. We might have a guest. Maybe we won't. We'll confirm that. We'll have a surprise
definitely have a co-stream.
Definitely have a co-stream.
Twitch only, though.
Yes, Twitch only. Twitch.tv/Nonstop Impact. Jay and Bill doing the co-stream for the whole Impact on Access TV. And we're going live 5 minutes after the show ends. The show ends 9 o'clock Central, 9:05. We're going on. So join us. Stay on Twitch. Just hop over. Just refresh it. It'll start right up. So join us. We're going a little earlier. Might have a guest. We might surprise you tomorrow. We'll see. We're waiting on a few calls to come back in. We'll see what happens. But we'll announce it first thing tomorrow or Tuesday morning. So keep tuned to the socials at We Talk Impact on Twitter. And then Thursday night is Throwback Night, Asylum Years, number 56. If you have Impact Plus, watch it. Number 56, we're going to talk about it. It's been a lot of fun lately, so hang out with us, guys. It's nice to kind of step back. Very throwback, laid-back show. Mark joins us for that. It's a lot of fun, so get in with us. All right, guys. J-Bone's going to go live in a few minutes. Join him on Smash This Podcast. We're going to get out of here. We'll talk to you guys on Tuesday. Have a great week, everybody. Stay safe, stay warm, and we'll see you later, everybody. Good night.